Hello everybody, this is your Gumbo. We're going to do some dojo training with Montana's Legendary. Now, if you haven't worked with Montana too much, you'll need to realize that his damage is all entirely based on heat management on his gun. So when he shoots, he accumulates heat. When it overheats, you can't shoot anymore. So what we're going to do is his legendary item is directly helpful to heat management. So when his heat gets up, as his heat rises, his damage actually rises and does a little bit more damage at high heat. However, when you get overheated, you actually can't fire anymore. So his legendary gives him a little health and attack speed, which is helpful. It also slows down the heat generation once you're above 85%. In fact, it doubles the time. So if once you're at that high heat level, you want to be able to actually have your bullets do the most damage. So you're 22, 23, 24. At that high level, 28, you'd rather be doing 28 damage a hit instead of 22 damage a hit, right? So what that lets you do is it lets you stay in the game more and longer, shooting at that high level of damage, that high damage rate. So we're going to test this out. So we're at 28, we're shooting high. He's capped out, can't really do much, right? There's nothing you can do. See, your heat management basically means you can't damage, you can't do anything. So we're gonna put this on without any helixes just to see what this looks like whenever you do have heat management, a little bit of heat management in here. Again, it's only gonna happen after 85% heat. So right here, you can see it's elevating a certain rate. And then all of a sudden, that accumulation really starts to drop off. It slows down. So now I'm getting 28s and 29, those 28 hits, 28 nines, those max hits a lot longer. And if I apply it and I cap it out and I hold it off, 1, 2, 3, you're down to about 75%. Okay, so you let it off in full. 1, 2, that's about 85%. So it takes 4 seconds to go up. 1, 2, down. 4 seconds to 100%, 1, 2, and you're down to below 85%. So if you can use that cadence to help you out, if you really need to, you don't have to. That way, you don't have to look at your UI as much, right? So we get capped out, 1, 2, and then you got 4 seconds to fire. All right. So other than that, let me go ahead and just put some skills in. It don't really matter much, except I'm going to go Firestorm so that I can show you Hot-Blooded. Okay. Now Firestorm gets you to max level really quickly, or max heat really quickly, which is kind of that and Blinded Dot. But it gets you to max heat, so your damage is up, right, ramped up. But once you get capped out, it's not so fun. So we're going to put Feeling the Burn along with Fireside. Just so that we can, once we're up high, we can stay there. Especially when you're already firing, and then here comes a new wave. Now, this is going to hurt me, but watch the damage that he's doing in the process. Right? You burn through your shield. Okay, and now you hit yourself, probably taking 300 off. Which is fine, but because the shield can always come back. So if you're doing Fireside, you can always take Feeling the Burn to just rip your own shield off, and then you can always replenish your shield. It's no big deal. So if you do Fireside early, it's to get you at cap level. But once you're at cap level, you're still going to be. I mean, you're going to be shooting at a pretty good tick. But sometimes a Fireside at max level might be more desirable. So anyways. Next thing is either heat accumulation through barrel cooling or Ice Age. Barrel cooling affects the whole scale, like add the accumulation from 0 all the way to 100. Okay, which means that the item, the legendary item, would actually scale along with it. So it just basically makes your heat generally 1/3 slower. Heat accumulation 1/3 slower, which is pretty advantageous. It's just that it may not be desirable if you want to just overheat all the time. It depends if you have heals or not, really. It comes down to it. But if you like Fireside because of the raw damage you can do, and you don't mind taking damage yourself, you can go with Ice Age. Either way of these is fine, but I'm going to go ahead and get Ice Age just so that we can get ramped up to that max level and see how that affects it. Even though barrel cooling was probably the better long-term combative option, because Fireside is a heat gainer, not a heat loser. Even so, just for testing, I'm going to do Ice Age, even though normally I do barrel cooling with Fireside. This doesn't much matter. I'll just go and hit him hard. Now, this one, because I went with Ice Age and made my my Hailstorm longer, I'm probably going to go with Perfect Storm to add 14% damage on top of it. Now, I could do Bullet Buff, but I only get that tick duration is only, it doesn't stack, right? So if you hit somebody with 10 bullets, you're only gonna have 1 dot on them. So if it was a dot per bullet, that'd be amazing. That'd be totally broken. But it's not the case. So we're gonna go with Perfect Storm to just keep our damage in general. And then I'm gonna save the last one for another test. This last one is Big Payback. Now here's the problem: if you have too much heat reduction in your loadout, and you end up taking barrel cooling, for instance, Big Payback isn't going to work as well, because you're not going to be able to. You have to get to that high heat to be able to hurt yourself. Because here's the thing: if I'm hurting myself through whether an enemy's hurting me or I'm hurting myself, that all contributes to Big Payback, believe it or not. So when I put this Big Payback in, all damage that's done to me will be reflected back. So watch this. I'll pop this thing. I probably won't even hurt these guys. I'm gonna shoot, Fireside it, get high. Wait for it. Wait. 1, 2, 3. And it hurts them. And that was what I was hurting them with, was only the Fireside damage that I did to myself, not the nothing else. So I think it was like 57. It wasn't significant. It wasn't too significant. But if I was already overheated and I was popping that out, that would be that one skill can do. Sometimes I've seen like 940 hits, 750 hits, 950 hits, just from that one skill of Payback. So I'm going to go ahead and really start to hurt myself a lot. I'm going to go ahead and go to the station, and we're going to wait for that cooldown, 15 seconds, and we're going to try and see that Big Payback hit from not only us but also the minions that are hurting us, and I'll see if we can wipe that minion wave up without actually hitting them. So not this one, let's go to the next one. Because that Big Payback, the damage that you're doing to yourself from Fireside, it's every single source of damage. It'll be really cool to see. So let's go ahead and get warmed up. Alright, see the heat accumulation is pretty low on the side. Alright, these guys have shield too, this will be good. So ready? Pop this. I'm not even going to shoot them. I'm going to Fireside it. Let them hurt me, or try and hurt me. Overheating, and 745. See, I didn't even shoot them, and that skill alone was from their damage to me and from Fireside. So anyways, just thought that would be a fun way to play them. It's heat management is all what Montana is all about. This is main attack. If you want to go cooler, you want to just keep being able to shoot consistently, that's one thing. If you want to have some sort of DPS burst, that's another thing. How you change this loadout, this custom fit Flak's vest, which is his legendary lore item, might actually be very, very useful. Now you can see how it works. It only happens, it kicks in after that 85%, but that's actually not bad. That's when he's at max damage, and there's ways to keep it up there. And a little health regen to kick in that helps reduce the damage you do to yourself. So, catch you guys later. Hope you enjoyed it.